East Asia, as it's traditionally called culturally, used to refer to countries located in East Asia and Southeast Asia. This area has a diverse and colorful culture. Along with that is the treasure, very rich in spiritual beliefs. When it comes to Asian spiritual culture, one of the most striking characteristics is the ability to use a variety of spells. Wormwood spells are one of the forms of magical development. A spell is an object for people to pass on, such as clothes, hair towel, nail, food. Wormwood, according to tradition, belongs to the plant family. These are spiritual plants by wizards using their powers. Wormwood spells were originally used to treat exorcisms, but later it's used by some evil people for evil purposes. So many kinds of wormwood spells have become magic to harm people. In today's video, let's learn about the 10 most terrifying magic, the most dangerous. It's from Asia, and they're believed by many to be real. Some kind of magic appear in this list has been and is being quietly used in Vietnam. Please also note that the VI is intended for entertainment purposes, sharing information. It's about a culture that I find very interesting, not for the purpose of promoting superstition, because believe it or not, the magic is up to everyone. And now I'm ready to start. Leaves fall to the roots. One of the dominant cultural ideas in Asia. What this means, even if a person goes far from where he dies, was born, he should be buried at home, the ancestral cemetery. This is also the reason the port was born. It's from the Shaanxi Mountains in Hunan China, province. The earliest story. I've known about this kind of magic for a long time. It first appeared in the legend of Sivu, the ancestors of the Mu, in a battle with the enemy at the Yellow River. Many of his soldiers were killed. For the battlefield, I can't see my people being exposed. Or the wilderness, I wish I could bring everyone's bodies back home. There are not enough people left to do this. So he went to a magician. After the shaman presses the mantra, let Sivu hold the fitting to lead the way. The bodies of soldiers killed in battle slowly get up and go. Theo Sivu to go back home. To carry out under test. There needs to be someone special. Lead the way through a strange way. This man is called the harbor master, and he knocked on the small bronze gong in his hand to lead the bodies forward. If there are more than 2 bodies in the line, the bodies will be tied together with a straw rope or a bamboo sot enchanted, and each body has to be exactly 2 meters apart. When practicing, the teacher will bring 12 students to help. For the guidance, it can always be done in desolate places. The body may fall or slip. So we need more people at the end of the line just in case. The student will hold 8 moves in the backhand. Water in 8 must be enchanted on the way. The person behind must make sure the water in 8 must be flat. Because if the water doesn't tip over, it probably won't. And because some of the bodies are scary, having more people helps to of those who perform the task. The time of travel is always at night, and the portmaster, they will choose the most remote mountain roads to move possible and avoid passing through villages where people live. Bodies should not be exposed to dogs and cats. There's a lot of risk. Row in control. To serve for port exam ceremony, there are places called inns. The corpse was born. Only the doctor and the body can enter. The living cannot. Due to decent income, even if there are no guests, these hotels continue to operate. Teacher hindered the leading exam. Walk in the morning and go to these inns for shelter. When night falls, keep moving. Born from the mountains of the west, due to the dangerous terrain, here, so many bodies, they couldn't be sent home the usual way, like using a cart or horse drawn. So the magicians in the area invented this technique is used to take exams. Not long after that, it has spread to other parts of China. It was most commonly used in the Middle Ages. And the image of the diamond characters. That's what you see in old movies. Chinese page. It also comes from this stage. Today, port art. It's still a huge mystery to science. No AI can prove the existence of false facts. But for many Chinese, especially those who live in mountainous areas, they absolutely believe in the existence of magic. The next type of magic I want to talk about in the video, not as famous as the other names on the list, but it's considered one of the charms. The most dangerous and cruel uncle in Malaysia. Belong, according to Malaysian folklore. Dragon is an evil spirit that is wizards. It's usually a doctor or a potty made from the blood of the dead. When someone has just been killed, the doctor will take some of the victim's blood, put it in a small glass bottle, then seal the mouth of the bottle with an enchanted followed by a traditional mantra. After about 7 to 14 blood days in the bottle, it's supposed to turn into a living thing. It's the Dragon Ball. It's often invisible. It's just described as a little soul, but carries the power of terrifying destruction. Here, the owner of the pig must give it regular blood, or it'll go back to sucking its own blood. When raised properly, Long will obey and attack any AI that the owner wants to harm. And the way it harms people is also horrifying. It will enter the victim's body into the blood and cause the person to gradually lose control. Vomit blood and died in pain after just a few short days. Victims often leave no visible traces to make their departure an unsolved mystery. It's rarely mentioned in popular culture. It's still a scary part of the enchantment of system. Southeast and in Malaysia. This is one of the forbidden, but arts still exist in secret communities. Adulteration is one of the most terrifying arts. It's considered one of the great mysteries, the most evil and unpredictable. It's what a poisonous insect is called. It's created by extremely cruel trainers methods. Will lock up a variety of poisonous insects like poisonous snake, scorpion, and a glass cloth. They will bite and destroy each other until only one of the strongest survives. It's this last surviving organism that's called a larva. They carry all the toxicity of other animals. It's considered extremely dangerous. After 11 days, the only one who survived began to change form, color, and officially become antique. According to legends, there are mainly two types. One type is a dragon neck shaped like a dragon. It could be a snake turning into... It's called the ancient unicorn. Maybe frogs or lizard turned into... Then the owner will store the cloth in a room. Less air, less light. After breeding for a year, the owner will choose a lucky sand day to open the cloth cover. She left the house. Sometimes it can take shape. It's like a fireball, walking around in the mountains and sometimes forests. It turns into a shadow, often back and forth in the houses in the village. The time when her magic power is at its greatest is sunset. Every time she comes home, she's still in the jar. Depending on the training and the user's intention. It can be used for many purposes, like most other types of magic. There are 3 purposes often that appear in the stories of antisepsis. First, it's used to poison the enemy. They slowly lose weakness of the body for unknown reasons. The second purpose, they're used to manipulate people's minds, force them into love, or do what the owner of the larva wants. And the ultimate goal, trainers will use the neckworm to send it into the body. Only the trainer has the cure and the ability to repopulate the neck. This is considered one of the bad ones. They are cruel and often used to harm people. People who get hit in the neck can cause a sting, delirium, or insanity during the examination. There is no clear cause. In many legends, there are only Gaute or the shamans of the deep. I can solve her poison. Even though modern science says, and most of the story about the archaea is superstition. But in fact, there have been cases of insect poisoning recorded in history. And in the mountains and forests of southern China like Yunnan, people still believe that this magic used to exist. And there are remnants somewhere in the folk. In the treasure, the mysterious stories of the northwestern mountains and forests. There's a kind of spell that makes people shiver. Crazy charm. Hear their names. As the name implies, people who get this kind of spell lose control of their mind. Crazy for no reason, and become my own shadow. According to the Thai, Hmong people, knife people in provinces like San Ladirn, madness compensation is a kind of traditional magic. It is often used for revenge, deterring or punishing a traitor in love. Or in the village. The person who practices this shamans type of magic or older women with deep roots. They'll use their hair and their nails, clothes, or anything that's connected to the victim as bait. Practice spells. The ceremony can last for many nights, taking place in deep forest or follow the sacrifice places. And read the uncle in the ancient the person who was enchanted did not die. It's starting to show paranoia, laughing for no reason, talk alone or leave home, wandering through the forest like a lost soul. The heavy or the crazy, really no longer capable of consciousness, and have to lock up. Protect yourself and those around you. Many stories say that the victim can only be solved if the enchantress is willing to solve it, or if you find the master Kaute to break the spell. And this is extremely rare. From a modern perspective, maybe many CAs are said to have been mental hit by severe depression or affect some stimulants. However, in remote mountains and where faith and spirituality are strong, crazy spells are still silently exist in the minds of the people. In many cultures, cats are very sacred animals. Cats can represent good luck, or in many cases, the embodiment of the devil. In China at the time of, there's a story about the queen used a kind of scary wormwood from an charm old cat, and this spell is called the devil's cat spell. Mu devil means ghost cat. To create this kind of spell, the shamans and mediums will choose that they raise and destroy. Then the cat's corpse will be covered in a lot of magic to seduce and shelter the evil spirits. After the evil spirit enters, they're going to control the body of the cat and start hurting people. The demon is a very scary spell. It's capable of asking for money, fame, and fortune for the owner. This magic is often used for the purpose to hurt people. It's usually transmitted when an AI is possessed by a demon. Will hurt, then slowly land to the body, land into the internal organs. Their hearts will be writhing. It's like being stung by thousands of needles. And the demon will devour the victim's internal organs, as well as physical torture. Before the victim of the spell, he vomited blood and died. When a person is possessed by a demon, they're not going to die right away. He will spend a long time in both physically and spirit. The demon will slowly eat away at the victim's body and constantly causing emotional damage. It makes the victims live in an invisible fear. Not eating well, not sleeping well, torturing yourself and your family. It's said to have been used a lot in feudal China by the queens to destroy his opponent. At the present time, there's no information or any story that can prove that the devil is real, but it can be confirmed that from the Eastern point of view, and even the West, cats are always animals between the two worlds. Love charm is a very popular type of charm in the Southeast Asia region. In Vietnam, this type of charm is often created from the ethnic minorities and the Hmong. It's the experts who make this kind of magic. According to the Hmong, love spells work to help two people get together. Love doesn't come from two sides. Love spells also work to make two people disrupt the marital happiness of others. When you're under a love spell, the victim will have a feeling of weakness in her heart, always thinking about, I miss or even dream about the person who cast my spell. Love spells only work for a few months, a year, so during that time the spell works. If two people develop feelings for each other, tied together by family, if you have children, the results will be positive. But for the most part, the results of the love spell are not so good. There's a lot of stories. Many people are enchanted and forced into love. When the spell wears off, the feeling will quickly end and both ways will go. Even the enchanted person will become envious of the person, and the ability to get emotional is also very unlikely. During the time of the victim is always in a semi-conscious state. The mind and body are never identical. To make a love charm, you have to go through a lot of factors. Made of spells are blown into the objects that the there is compatibility. For example, someone who matches then just use the comb that's been enchanted. It will be cast immediately. But there are also people who go well. There are even cases where saliva has to be the enchantress. How to make a charm into the mouth of the person they want to cast a spell on. Charm. Love is widely used by many people and also the kinds of charms. Other names appear on this list. The power of love has never been proven, but the love charm has become a lifeline. Hope for so many people on the journey. Conquer the person they are deeply attached to. HRM magical spell associated with carpentry in ancient Chinese history, made by board hole for carpentry organizations in Chinese culture. Originally, the main purpose of this type of talismans. People who are extremely low status in society at that time, and when they're hired by their landlords, they can be verbally steal money or shush money. However, getting older, this form of magic becomes more dangerous. The people who use it become evil. There are many people who have used this kind of magic. The house they just built, they cause catastrophic damage to the owner. It's not easy to create a whole board charm. Charms practitioners are usually wizards or masters. go through a process, long-term practice, and accumulate enough can be done spiritual energy. The process of practicing magic begins with visualization. Will mentally focus to visualize the image in my mind of the talisman. When the focus is high, they can see that talisman anywhere, just by thinking. It is said that there is a God. It means there is a soul and can operate at the will of the trainer. According to tradition, any AI that is learned and practiced you must follow this profession for the rest of your life. It's not just a job. It's an oath to the organization. There is an unwritten law. If the builder used a whole board charm for every 10 houses completed, they're required to enchant at least one house. This action is known as nesting, but in a grateful way and keeping the blessing. If you build 10 houses without cover, the worker will be deemed to have broken his oath. That is, and will be risk executed. Of disease or disaster. Charm whole board possesses an extremely terrifying power that is superior to conventional spells. The power of the spell serves one of two main purposes: and harm or protect and bless. Today, in addition to the protection or crowding, balloon charms are also used for more diverse like wealth purposes and success, support love and bring happiness, or even psychologically manipulating people. If used for bad purposes, this can have serious consequences, but also for the users themselves. The AI learns and uses strictly follow the rules, charms, or they'll be betrayed by the very spell they leading created, to a mysterious or death, terrible accidents. Kumanthong is probably one of the charms. The most famous wormwood comes from Asia and is quietly widely used in Vietnam. Surely you've heard the name Kumanthong or devil at least once. It's from Thailand, one of the most famous countries in the world. Spirituality and witchcraft. Kamantho means golden boy. According to the legend, patroness in Thai folk beliefs. It is believed that a slim bow brings good property luck for the owner if worshipped carefully. At the point of origin, Kumanthong, it's made of fetuses whose mothers unfortunately as the birth nears. The shamans will remove the fetus from the mother's body to bring meaning. Page 2 conducts a Kumanthong soul calling ritual. When the spirit calling ceremony the fetus will be dried on a fire, and when dried again, the shamans will paint it with a coat of eyebrow used paint as a talisman. And finally, the fetus wrapped in a layer of gold leaf to create Kumanthong. This way of doing it is not a criminal act at present. So Kim Slim was made out of dolls. After purchase, they'll be brought to wizards to cast spells the soul and inside, even to make the dolls more sacred. Sometimes parts of a baby's body like hair, nails, feet, or bones will be secretly made into charms and attached the doll inside. Kumanthongs are thought of as embodiments where the abode of the soul. The children were stillborn, so Kumanthong would be placed to be fed in the house. Take care as a child. In return, it'll help the owner achieve like many buying goals, stop your opponent from harming you, or even call people who have traveled far back. If well and carefully taken care of, mutual transmission, it will make the most of the power it has to fulfill the owner's purpose. And if the owner treats you badly or leaves you slender, it will bring bad luck. Many people think that once you've grown a thin cub, the person who owns it must raise it until this person dies. Currently, Kim, you're made of real fetuses, or some parts of the fetus. It's said to have more power than a doll. And a lot of people are looking for pregnant women. He died no more than 21 days. To take the fetus and go through the process. Said above, this demand has led to a consequence in Thailand. Many hospitals are constantly being stolen. The mothers are pregnant. They are also frequently used to steal bodies. This is what happened in May 2012. When a 28-year-old Taiwanese-born he was arrested by Thai police at a Bangkok hotel with 6 fetuses that have been dried and covered in gold. According to this man's testimony, he's bought 6 of these bamboo shoots and we're going to take it back to Taiwan to sell for $6,300 each. Kumanthong's true ability is still a big question mark. Whether it's going to work as people are thinking, or is this simply a superstition story? Before the popularity Kumanthong farming is getting especially in Vietnam, this kind of spell is losing its effect. Please comment your thoughts. The god. It's one of those creepy charms, the most terrifying and mysterious of in some parts of Vietnam. This type of charm comes from Vietnam, specifically in the folk beliefs of the Southerners, especially in the South and Southwest. This is a special kind of wormwood charm. It's not imported from Cambodia or other countries, but many people still misunderstand. According to the legend of the gods, it's quite similar to Thailand's cuttlefish. It's also made from the human body, with some etiquette that comes along. But instead of being made from a fetus, the divine like charm, usually forged from the skulls of virgins. The enchantress must kill the victim herself to get the head. Or the enchantress can find one, the part of a virgin, died no more than 21 days to dig up and steal the head. They're then taken home to perform the seances. Who died like a victim worship page. I have to eat 3 meals every day so that the soul remains in the skull. After the rituals are complete. Charms can be wrong. Control the soul to measure. 10 news from distant places. There's even information that this kind of spell also has the power to take people's lives. The process of practicing spells is said to be it can last for months or even years. During that time, the enchanters must offer ants to feed the soul and keep the happy soul loyal to you. If you make a mistake, it can be very dangerous. Even if you lose your life. In Vietnam, there have been cases involving this magic. The most famous is the case occurred and was discovered in Dang That province in 2000. In this case, Pham Van Tuan, or also known as suddenly appeared on his boat at a creek in the Tuan area, then anchored here, claiming to be a doctor and get free treatment for everyone. Because of the gentle nature, Tone quickly received the affection. More people came to his house, especially women, because he said there's a way to help them get people to like them. Late 7th, 2000s, then received a missing persons girl's family in the area. By many professional measures, the investigative agency has located and identified #1 suspect in the case. One day in early September 2000, investigators were present at Tuan's house for 6 hours. He left the boat and moved in a small house in the area. After searching, the scouts found 3 human skulls. There are 3 bodies. No head is decomposing, buried under the floor. Along with the ID of the missing girl, B.A. In the near future, Tuan was quickly arrested and is on death row. In addition to the case of Pham, there are also cadaver skull trade who had been discovered by the authorities. The most prominent of these can be mentioned. Theft and transportation of human skulls in the Gypsum Buddha statues. The objects in the case were discovered. Has repeatedly stolen human skulls and sent it to a person named Yang, a fortune teller residing in the United States. Until today, God has always existed in legend as one of the kinds of charms, the scariest wormwood, even though no one knows about its effectiveness. But criminal acts, something related to this kind of magic, and bring it to trial. Next to the exam port and antisepsis, women's magic is one of the most terrifying. Central flowers. The name of this magic sounds beautiful, but it's actually about controlling the mind and body. The woman's body caused the victim to lose consciousness, become a puppet that lives at the hands of the enchanters. Intercultural communication girl appeared in ancient times in South Central Asia. And it's passed silently through the clans, specialized in voodoo. It's classified as a highly toxic love It's not charm. For emotional connection. It's about total control of the will and of the object. Usually young women. Charms practitioners will perform a series of evil rituals, may include the use of menstrual blood, the victim's nails, combined with ancient mantras and highly tonal conductors. When the spell works, the victim will be tired. The practitioner completely loses the ability to resist. It's like being hypnotized in a semi-conscious Who state. Is hiding? Peanut flower girl. It often manifests itself in like waking up behavior. In a dream. Lifeless eyes. They always go to the person who cast the spell, even though they're being treated cruelly. The victims of this magic. It's easy to fall into a deep depression or have severe psychological damage for unknown reasons. The most dangerous is the one who is under the spell. Myself being controlled. And outsiders are hard to spot. They seem normal in the eyes of others. Many people today think that women's happiness is just a form of folk superstition or a manifestation of mental illness associated with in closed communities where faith and magic still exist. There's a whisper that someone has a kind of magic, and some people were killed by it. This is the end of the cycle. Thank you for watching the last part of this series. Please give me a like if you like this video. Subscribe to see more new videos. It will be launched soon. Hello, and see you later.